My name is Emmanuella Gardiner, and I am your host for today's episode in the podcast Breaking Barriers. Breaking Barriers is a podcast that's dedicated to interviewing the youth, young entrepreneurs, and entrepreneurs who are changing the narratives for their lives. We'll take a quick break and we'll get back to you soon. Welcome back. Today's episode, my guest for today's episode is a mother, a government worker of 20 plus years, an inspirational woman, an upstanding woman, a God-fearing woman. She's a mother of two, and she has transitioned from Cape Coast to Accra in search of greener pastures. Successfully having found greener pastures and successfully starting motherhood. My guest for today is Mrs. Roberta Lai. Thank you very much for honoring my invitation. Thank you for being the first guest. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine too. As I said, so tell me about you. Who are you? Who is Mrs. Roberta Lai?
You know my name already, as you've mentioned.
Yeah.
I'm Roberta Lai Gardiner, born in Cape Coast in the Central Region. Had my educational background, everything in Central Region. Then I moved to Accra. I started work in UTC. I don't know whether you were born by then. UTC is a big supermarket in Accra, Central in Accra.
Okay.
I worked there for about 3-4 years. Then I left the government establishment. It was then Divestiture Implementation Committee, in which we deal with state entities which are no more in function. We divest them.
Okay.
And now we have merged with State Enterprises Commission. Now the name is called SIGA, State Interest and Governance Authority. We oversee all the assets for government, those performing and those who are not performing. We monitor them, and then we know how best government can step in to help them.
Okay.
This is currently where I am working now.
Okay. And you're a mother of two. So how has motherhood been for you? How did you come about motherhood, and did you plan to be a mother?
It is every woman's dream to become a mother. It looks as if it ends there. We all, when we start growing, we want to be a mother, we want to work. But it looks as if when you get to the motherhood and started giving birth, it ends there. Then when your children grows up, now you are waiting for your maker to be called, and then you go. But it's very, very interesting to be a mother.
It is.
It is very, very interesting. Although it is hectic, but it is fun. It is fun because it's in the Bible. They say after you have suffered a little while, God Himself will make you strong and firm. So all the women will go through labor. These nine months we go through, but in the end, the moment you hear baby cry, all this pain they all vanish and you become happy. Then you start being a mother. So it's not easy to be a mother, and it is happy and enjoyable to be a mother. When you are going anywhere and you hear people say, Mama, wherever you are, because you have that instinct as mother in you, you turn. That is joy in motherhood.
So you actually, from what you're saying, you actually planned to be a mother. You planned for 2 children, and you've enjoyed motherhood so far. When you look at your kids now, and you look at your upbringing and the qualities and values and morals that were instilled in you, can you say that you have instilled them in your children? Can you say your children are a replica of the values and morals that you were given? And do your children in any shape or form lack these values?
No, they don't lack. and I wish I can step in more, because day in and day out is a training program. We are all learning as we step out and step in. So I wish, and it is my dream, then I can still help them to grow.
At what age did you become a mother?
And let me say, at the age of, I think I started producing from 29.
29.
Not producing for production sake, for producing human.
So you production of human beings at the age of 29.
Yes.
And that's when you became a mother. On your fresh mother, you don't know anything, you don't know what to do, sleepless nights and all that. Who did you turn to? Who were you dependent on? Who did you look up to and say, I want to experience motherhood, or have this person help me experience motherhood as a fresh mother?
Yes, I can say I'm very, very fortunate, because I have an elder sibling who is a midwife.
Okay.
So during my pregnancy and my antenatal, I had a second thought from her. Although I've been going to antenatal, she is also there to assist me, and I will always stand up to her, because without her, I don't know what, because my mom is very old. By then, my mom is very old. So this, my elder sibling, took care of me, took me to Kolebu, and then he more or less introduced me what will happen. So although I'm in the labor ward, I know what is next. So I more or less, I didn't find it difficult throughout my children bringing and taking care of them. No. But I am fortunate, and I always thank God for that.
Okay, so there's something called postpartum depression. And this is the period in which, and it happens to a lot of mothers, you don't necessarily have to be a first-time mother or a second-time mother. So long as you have birthed a person, there's some emotional and psychological changes that a person experiences. And postpartum awareness and postpartum depression is not really talked about in this setting of ours. Do you know anything about postpartum depression?
I've heard it, but I didn't go through that. I never went through anything like that. But I know it is there, because I listen to other mothers and they do talk about what they've gone through. But as I've said earlier on, because I had that education, I didn't go through anything like that. It was okay for me. So when I hear people talking about that, I get confused. But then it is reality. But I'm fortunate, and I didn't get anything of that sort.
Okay, so what has been your favorite part of motherhood, this journey? When you sit down and you look at your children, what gives you the peace and the calm, and you can say, I'm enjoying motherhood because of A, B, and C?
Yes. I remember one time during my birthday, and they said they'll give me a treat. Then we went to a place, and everybody, they brought the menu, we made our choices, and my little girl said, oh, she wants to go European way. I said, fine, I'm a mother, it is my treat, so I want to be local. So when they brought the menu, my little girl saw the menu and she was sad. Said, no, I don't want to be an European. I want to be a Ghanaian. Because you can read that my food, my menu was okay for me. It is fun. It is good to have kids. Even if you don't have at all, you have one. Yeah. And if you can adopt and you train the person to be your own, it is very fun. It is very fun. And then when you are taking them to school, you will talk. But then the moment on holidays and you are driving alone without them, you feel the difference. So having kids, it's fun. But we pray, it is my humble prayer that God will touch each and every feminine person to enjoy. Just enjoy, get the pain and enjoy. It is very fun.
For you, you say that it seems as if motherhood is the peak of womanhood, and at the same time, after motherhood, there's nothing else. You are waiting for your maker. But other people would say that motherhood is not, it doesn't end at motherhood for them. They want to go beyond motherhood, and as they are waiting for their maker. And what for you is your duration, like as you're waiting for your maker to call you? What are you looking up to from your children?
I would like my children to look up to me. Although motherhood is a peak, as I am saying, because when you reach that age, your next is being a grandmother. There's nothing you can do again. You just be reading, because you don't know when you'll be called. Just be good. Advise the up and coming people. If there is a chance and you can help, assist those who don't have, so that you help them to grow. This is what I have.
You mentioned earlier that you gave birth at 29. You started the production at 29. There are people who give birth earlier than that, and especially in this modern world where people are giving birth as early as 17. So we have early pregnancies resulting in early motherhood. What is your view on such incidences, such children who become mothers? What's your take on it?
Okay. Some, it's not their doing to become a mother as early as that. Circumstances lead to a lot of things. Breaking homes will lead to a child to be pregnant as early as that. Mm-hmm. In our time, before you become a female, before you become female, if I'm female, I hope you understand.
Yeah.
Our own, from 14, 15 onwards.
Yeah.
But nowadays, it starts as early as 7 years and 8 years. So you have been introduced to the world already. Mm-hmm. That time, you don't know your left from your right. Mm-hmm. And in our culture, we don't hardly sit down and educate our children on how to take care of themselves when there are such circumstances do happen to them. But in our time, 14 years and above, at least you are a little bit matured. So when there is something like that, you know what to do. When people leave, they need them to go to marriage early. Mm-hmm. Because they don't have enough finances to support the other siblings. So because of that, they put them into marriage. So they go early. But in all, we can't say they are at fault or not. You can't judge them. But when it happens like that, and if you are a mother and your daughter or any fall into such a situation, just embrace. Embrace and pick whatever it is, and then the child can continue schooling. You must sit down with your child, listen to her. It is difficult. It is very difficult. But we should try as much as possible to listen to them. Then we can know their line. So when circumstances like this come, you just pick the child, and then you train the child, and then the mother, or supposedly mother now, can continue her education.